Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well and staying safe during this time. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Like I said, thank you so much for checking me out. If you haven't done so, please make sure to hit that subscribe button just right below the video. Cool, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're returning, welcome back. Thanks again for your support. I truly do appreciate having you here.
Big fan of this guy, macroeconomist here. Listen to what he says about the possibility of Russia, because they sit on so much gold that they could use what they really have as a resource, which is oil, to begin to accept gold for the oil instead of dollars to help push the price up of gold. Take a look at this. If Russia becomes an arbitrage between oil for gold to revalue gold to $100,000 an ounce, could be followed by revaluation of the SDR basket, ESDR, introduced potentially, backed by gold as well. I would expect that would bring the 589 COMEX rule, which would halt the paper market and physical market trading of the asset itself. Take a look.
Expert says gold could hit $100,000 in a very short period of time. I'm going to explain this to you in 3 simple, fast steps. Step number 1, what might happen is Russia may start to sell their oil for gold. This is an idea from my good friend and macro expert, Luke Groman. To hear how this would work, let's hear it from Luke himself. Editor, let's cut to the internet.
We're going to settle gold, or oil, in physical gold at a new ratio of 1,000 barrels per ounce of gold. And everyone is going to go, oh my God, this is a great arbitrage, right? I'm going to go buy 1,000 ounces of COMEX gold or GLD, and then I'm going to convert it to physical, and then I'm going to take the physical over to Russia, and I'm going to get 1,000 barrels of oil, and then I'm going to sell the oil, and I'm going to get rich. And the market probably is going to shut down. It's going to crash instantly. The paper gold markets will just go, boop, cash settle everybody, game over.
Right.
And then you're going to, the oil, the real value, is going to reprice gold. Again, I'm not saying that will happen. I think that's a long shot. If I was Putin and if I was pushed that far, that's what I would do. Because again, he already has the gold. Great. He's going to write up the value. People keep saying he's going to sell his gold. He might sell some gold. I don't know. But I don't think he will. Why sell your gold when you have the oil? You can use the oil to revalue the gold to give you all the dollars you need.
But what would happen is Russia would say, we are going to sell our oil for gold, but here's the price. We're going to sell 1,000 barrels per ounce. Right about now, I'm sure you're saying to yourself, George, that's crazy. What are they talking about? Wait a minute. Let me do some math here. Oil is about $100 a barrel, and gold is about $2,000 an ounce. So they'd be selling their oil for about $2 a barrel. That doesn't make any sense at all. Who on earth would do that? Let's just think this through for a moment. So if you're a speculator in the marketplace, in the oil market, and you hear that Russia is going to sell 1,000 barrels of oil for 1 ounce of gold, what would you do? You'd go out and immediately buy as much gold as you could. You'd want to get that 1 ounce of gold as quickly as you could. You'd want to sell it to Russia. You'd want to get the 1,000 barrels of oil, sell it into the market, and collect your $100,000. There's a huge arbitrage play here.
And he's absolutely right. There is a huge arbitrage play here if that unfolds. But look what it takes me to. Because this is going to cross us into the conversation that we have a lot here, or certainly have in the past. And remember, I just had a conversation with Linda P. Jones, 25-year Wall Street veteran, about how they need to re-liquefy the world. And we have talked here about the delays and the pushback of the SDR valuation review from the IMF on the basket of currencies in the SDR basket, right? And that has been pushed back many times. Well, how far has it been pushed back to? The review will be pushed back from the IMF Executive Board approved the delay and will be pushed back 10 months from September 21st to July 2022. So we are still in front of this thing by another 3 months here, or 4 months. So pretty interesting. Now, this takes me to the idea that, look, if we do see an arbitrage moment take place like that, and Russia's in a position where they're outside of the loop because they've been sanctioned out, that they become the place of arbitrage for the actual brokers and dealers to go and work this and push the valuation up. This could send gold to a really high price. And then you re-liquefy the world because you can go back to a gold-backed standard for currencies, at least for the valuation reset. I mean, we all hear it from the World Economic Forum, from the IMF, everyone else, the Bretton Woods. A Bretton Woods moment, a new reset, a great reset. A new Bretton Woods moment. If this were to take place, and maybe it's not 100,000, maybe it's 10,000 an ounce, maybe it's 20, who knows what the number is if this should happen. But what it really brings me to is the idea, knowing that we've just had the executive order for cryptocurrency signed today. You're about to see evidence of that too. I go back to the Financial Stability Board, which, by the way, was put together after the G20 summit in 2009, and it makes recommendations to the global financial system. Well, the recommendation it made back in 2020, just 24 months ago, was that of a global stablecoin. A stable coin with a potential reach and adoption across multiple jurisdictions and the potential to achieve substantial volume. I absolutely see something like XRP and XLM as the possibility of filling a role like that. I'm speculating. Then we saw this document from the IMF in October 2020, where they again talk about the similar topics. And to distinguish in the conversation that central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, are in fact different from global stable coins. Digitization could drive international use of currencies in ways that distinct from traditional dynamics. CBDCs and GSCs potentially lower transaction costs by increasing competition. So they are absolutely distinguishing the difference between a central bank digital currency and what would be a global stable coin in this IMF report, right? They go on here to make a very big comment that really has been discussed by the IMF heavily, and we've covered it here on the channel, which is where they talk about this. These ranges from niche use from small cross-border payments to pervasive adoption in a subset of countries to global adoption of a single global stablecoin or a multipolar world. A multipolar world featuring intense competition between a few major CBDCs and a global stablecoin. This is usually what happens when there is a change in what is the reserve currency, the global reserve currency. Usually there is a competition period of what will compete for it, right? That is pretty interesting. Now, let's move to here because, Gary Gensler, of all people, tells us, as of 6 o'clock this morning, President of the United States signed an executive order on crypto assets. I look forward to collaborating with the colleagues across the government to achieve important public policy goals, protecting investors and consumers, guarding against illicit activity, and helping ensure financial stability. Well, if you're going to do this, you're going to have the Treasury on board too. Well, look here. This was shared, and it was Janet Yellen's comments on executive order were accidentally posted a day early. Shout out to James K. Filan and the other gentleman who shared it. If you take a look at this document here, it says, basically, President Biden's historic executive order calls for a coordinated and comprehensive approach to digital asset policy. This approach will support responsible innovation that could result in substantial benefits of the nation, consumers, and businesses. It will also address risks related to illicit finance, protecting consumers and investors, and preventing threats to the financial system and broader economy. That's how important this crypto business is, ladies and gentlemen. Preventing threats to the financial system and the broader economy. It goes on here and talks about the Treasury will partner with interagency colleagues to produce a report on the future of money and payment systems. The future of money and payment systems. And lo and behold, looky here. Where have you heard anybody talk about the Financial Stability Oversight Council, FSOC? We'll also convene with FSOC to evaluate the potential financial stability risk of digital assets and assess whether appropriate safeguards are in place. And because the questions raised by digital assets often have important cross-border dimensions, we'll work with our international partners to promote robust standards and a level playing field, which will involve OFAC, the other side, the foreign side of the Treasury as well. This will work to complement ongoing efforts of the Treasury. Already, the department has worked with President's Working Group, as we all know, the FDIC, the OCC, the Fed as well. It says study one particular kind of digital asset, stable coins. Well, global stable coin. That's going to be in the conversation whether they share it with us or not. You can bet your bottom dollar, because we've seen too much go on with the IMF and the Financial Stability Board, for which the United States under Treasury Brent McIntosh at the time was on that particular board, and there is, I believe, Nellie Liang maybe on it now. So this is getting very, very interesting as we move towards these moments to see if they actually play out And if Russia and the conflict there becomes a moment to arbitrage, reprice gold as it was explained to us, and if so, it could reliquify the world, revalue the SDR basket, possibly introduce an ESDR, which could be XRP, which could eventually grow to serve as a global stable coin.
I'm your guy. I will keep you posted. I'm your advocate. I'll be back on a daily basis, usually multiple times per day, with these videos to keep you updated with everything going on. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't done so, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Feel free to share any of my videos with your friends, family, social media, or anybody who may care to listen. Thanks so much for your continued support. I'm always here for you. I want to help you through this time. So thank you so much for continuing to choose me. Enjoy your day, stay safe, and I'll catch you again probably in a couple hours. Thanks, everybody. See you later.